So whenever you're ready.
We
Ready?
are ready to roll.
3, 2, 1, and good morning, everybody. Today is Monday. It's the fun day. It is the LB hour, the pound hour, that magical time of the day when I, Lonnie, and he, B, Ryan, are come to you with some little bit of fun little stuff to talk about. And Brian, how was your day? Or how was your weekend?
Well, it was a really good weekend, very productive. I want to let everybody know today is episode 99. So we're
Wow.
reaching the milestone here tomorrow, and it's May 3rd, 2021. So tomorrow is May the 4th be with you. So that'll be
Absolutely.
fun.
May the fourth with that that's the Star Wars adage. By the way, we don't want to go there because you were not a huge Star Wars fan to begin with, right?
No, it took a while.
It took a while. Has it ever synced in?
Well, yeah, I was watching some original stuff from like 77, and I was
Yeah.
enjoying the hovercraft with Luke. It was pretty good.
Yeah, no, that was great. I think that I was addicted from day one. And it was like it just put my mind somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and since then I pretty much conceptually, because it was a concept, it was like all of a sudden we could take ourselves and go to another planet and go live in other worlds and stuff. And I think I fell for that at a very young age, right when it came out. And I think I watched that movie over 200 times. I kid you not, in my
Wow.
life. And so it was a pretty powerful movie for me.
Yeah, I remember Princess Leia's hair was too weird. I didn't like it. A lot of people didn't like it.
Yeah, I didn't
A
like
lot
the
of people
hair.
made fun of it. High
The
school
buns,
kids.
the buns on the side of her head. Yeah, it was quite
Yeah,
interesting.
a lot of 17, 18-year-olds, we made fun of the whole thing.
Yeah, well, I'm sure because it was odd, but she's a beautiful woman, and Carrie Fisher is pretty unique in her own
Oh,
self.
yeah.
From what I recall. I didn't, ever know her myself, but I've watched a lot about her and read a little bit about her. She's a writer and a prolific author, actually, and a pretty well known, just generally artist in life.
Yeah. One public speaker, too.
Public speaker. Yeah.
She was a great
Mhm.
public
And
speaker.
she had no problem speaking about the damnedest things.
Yeah. Well, back in 77, though, we already had a space show that we were quite happy with. And so a lot of people were resistant.
Was that Star Trek?
Yeah, we had the best thing ever. So we're like, okay, this one's okay.
Yeah,
But
it
there
was.
were a lot of guys, science guys, they loved it.
There
Adventure
were
types,
there
yeah.
were two people in this world. There was a Star Trek
Yeah.
people and a Star Wars people. And I personally didn't like Star Trek until probably, I mean, I watched as a kid, but it was not Star Wars to me, man. It just was
Yeah.
not the same. But it was kind of like the daily grind for Captain James T. Kirk.
Yeah. They didn't really have a character that I saw as cool as Kirk.
Oh,
I mean, I
oh
thought it
yeah,
took me a while to get used to Han Solo, but then I watched it again. He was pretty funny.
yeah. Well,
Swashbuckler.
he was swashbuckler, and he was I mean, he was kind of like James T. Kirk a little bit, I guess, but it's not quite as cocky. I think he was more like a rascal.
Wisecracker, yeah.
Yeah.
But he was a rogue. He wasn't like Kirk worked for the you know, Starfleet. So
Yep. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. And
he had a 9 to 5 job.
by the way, have you seen the newer movies, the ones with Solo?
No, I
The
haven't
movie
seen
Solo?
any of those.
Yeah, it's pretty unique. It's pretty good because it gives you his perspective on life and stuff
Yeah.
early on and how he became who he is. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now it's
I liked him as Indiana Jones the best.
yes. Well, Han Solo as
Yeah.
Indiana Jones. You mean yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Indiana Jones, I like that character for Harrison Ford. He was really good and presumed innocent. That
I
was a
agree.
courtroom drama.
Actually, what do you think his worst movie is? I mean, I'm a huge fan, so but he's got so many movies. There's got to be some bad ones out there. So
Yeah, I haven't really seen Mosquito Coast. Is that any good?
well, it was a decent movie, but it was it wasn't bad at all.
Well,
Uh,
there's one where he's older and he's in France or something and he's trying to save his wife and it's directed by Roman Polanski. So Just the fact that it's directed by Roman Polanski is not good.
Let's see here. What movie is that? I'm gonna have to think here. Like I said, I think that in Blade Runner myself, he did a good job. It was just too. I like concept movies. I was just too much out there for me, too dark.
Yeah.
And
I read the
was not-
book. Though. Read the book. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I have not read the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I doubt I could because I should try. I should try because
It's very short. It's
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Many people are big, huge fans of Blade Runner, and I just couldn't do it.
I thought the narration was pretty bad too by Harrison Ford, but I don't know.
I think Blade Runner. Harrison Ford also was in that Vietnam movie. It was a small little film. I think it was called Apocalypse Now.
Oh yeah, he had a small role there.
He had a small role. It's one of his smallest roles. Yeah.
He was a carpenter too.
A carpenter?
Yeah, he built things for like producers, and his acting wasn't going that well, so he would
worked on the set.
No, he'd go to their offices and their houses and build fine. He just learned it by buying book or checking out books. He learned it, and that got him into Hollywood even closer. And
really
he got to know people like George Lucas and all that. So
that's pretty cool. Then.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that's how he got the American Graffiti early on.
Well, also, he's a multi-talented person. He's a pilot.
Yeah,
he flew into Kelso a few years back.
Yeah. Did he wreck? Because he gets in a lot of wrecks.
No, he didn't. He flew into Kelso, filled up to his helicopter, I think, and then flew out.
Oh, wow.
But made me think of another movie he was in with, was it Anne Hesh? No. Yeah, Anne Hesh, where they wrecked their plane, I think.
Oh, is that Mosquito Coast?
No.
Oh.
This was They Fell in Love. It was a comedy.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that.
I can't remember what it was. Pretty good movie though, not bad. I think he's pretty believable in whatever he does.
The one where Brad Pitt was an IRA
yeah,
living at his house. That was good. Remember that?
Oh, I can't remember. And I know
Irish. Yeah, he had him living there. Really liked him. Found out he was an IRA terrorist.
Yeah, and I like him as all those books by Michael. No, who wrote the where he was Jack Ryan.
Oh yeah, it was Clancy, James Clancy.
Yeah,
it's James Clancy.
James Clancy.
Yeah, he writes those procedural type military things.
Yeah, those are good. I mean, I think so.
Yeah, I like those. He did. He did an early one. The first guy to play that role was Alec Baldwin.
Was that what movie was that? No, that was the submarine one, right?
Yeah, The Hunt.
The Hunt for Red October. That's right.
Yeah, I saw that. That was good. Sean Connery.
And then when he was president as he was president in Air Force One.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which put another good actor together in my mind. James, what's the guy? Who was the main bad guy in that? That was
wasn't Malkovich, was it?
No. But I love Malkovich, but no, it was we talk about him now and again. Oldman. Gary Oldman.
Yeah, he's a good villain.
Yeah, I didn't like him that much as a villain in that, but he did a good job, mind you. I love Gary Oldman in other films. I mean,
in The Professional, he was good.
Oh, excellent in Professional, excellent in
True Romance.
Yeah. And Dracula.
Yeah.
When he did. Yeah.
He went through a lot of alcoholism and stuff. So I enjoyed him talking about becoming sober and dealing with stuff. He's so much better now, I think.
Yeah, well, he's a great actor, man. He's just crazy. And Professional was phenomenal. He did such a good job in that. That was nice.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
He's done quite a bit of movies as well.
Yeah.
Seemed like he didn't do quite as many movies as Harrison Ford, but he did do quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, I think Natalie Portman played it like I think she might have been 12 or 13. The character was 12, and
Oh, for the professional?
yeah, and she was in
Yeah.
danger the whole time.
Well, the story of the professional actually is apparently in Europe they often will bring in a younger person in their life, such as a young 12-year-old girl, and they will end up marrying her. And basically, they kind of train her, and it's a different
Is
kind of
that what
life
that
over.
did that happen? I thought they kind of split up at the end.
No, but they apparently the original storyline was supposed to basically he basically was just mentoring her and stuff, and then
Ah,
basically they came together, and they fell in love. And it's like,
okay.
how do you fall in love with a 12-year-old? Blah blah blah. It's really sick and twisted. But um, the way that their culture was or is, I don't know. I mean, they have like 30-year differences on people's marriages sometimes. So
The American version, though, they changed it to he was
yeah,
just protecting her
yep, yep.
like a daughter, and I like that better.
Yeah, I did too. I did too. Don't get me. Yeah, trust me, I like that too. I'm like, but it was interesting because they just became best friends, and yeah, it was odd. But he was a good actor too. I can't remember his name. Jean Reno? No,
Yeah, Reno,
or
something
maybe
Reno,
that's
Jean Reno, I think. Yeah,
yeah. Um,
well,
but yeah,
the Europeans are always kind of stuck in the past, so we had to move ahead.
yeah.
That's why they are still a third world country. They're actually a continent. They're considering Europe a third world continent.
Well, I've never been there. I want to go there. You're being funny. I get you. The World
Oh
Cup.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just thinking out backwards there. It took them a while. We came from there. So
Right. Well, that's why we left there, because we
yeah.
were trying to be liberally thinking, progressively thinking. We got to have ourselves. We have control over ourselves.
Yeah.
So,
Autonomy.
yeah. We don't want to be under the thumb of the church or this, king. So,
We wanted freedom, so our first move had to be get slaves. Well, they had a commercial in the old days. If you want a good shave, you got to have a dry beard. Wet it first, right? Wet your beard to make it dry. It's like, let's get slaves to have freedom, right? But
not quite sure.
wetting something to make it dry actually works. That's a real thing.
Hmm.
Not all the
Not sure
time.
if I get that, but
Yeah, I put water on a deck that the paint wasn't drying. I put a light layer of water, dried fast. Water sometimes will cause things too dry. I don't know why.
hmm.
Yeah, and the
I don't know why I
electric
should swallow the
shave.
fly,
Yeah,
but
remember
let's go down.
electric shave.
I
Wet
hate
it,
electric shaves.
wet it first. Wet it first. You have to wet your face to make it dry.
Well, that's weird because I don't know. When I was a kid, I've tried electric shave multiple times, but just
Strong,
never really liked it.
powerful.
Yeah.
Aquavelva was a painful experience.
Yeah, there you go. And it smells. I don't know. I had an uncle that used Aquavelva, but
Well, they got Axe now for the young folks.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna ask you a question, by the way.
Sure.
So, by the way, well, we just started the Monday, today's Monday, but
Yeah.
what highlights?
Practice live tomorrow. We could just go on our regular page LB and see how it works. Try it.
Sure. Yeah, why not? And then also, but as far as it goes, what was your highlights over the last week? Did you have any highlights?
I got a lot of work done on the house, a lot of cleaning done and organizing, getting rid of stuff I don't need. So I feel good about that. Working out a little bit.
Oh, well, my highlights was yesterday, my sister's birthday. We all got to go down to a tulip festival type thing, or a tulip bulb farm. I don't know.
Yeah,
Actually,
Holdeklager.
Holdeklager. We went. There's two of them down there. We only made it to one, and it was the one without very much flowers. But it was her birthday, so we went and had lunch, and got to celebrate that and get a couple pictures, anyways. But might go back down this next weekend to get more pictures. But yeah, it just depends on people. but it was not bad. I mean, it's a sad highlight, but as you know, I had the rest of my weekend was kind of foobarred. So,
Yeah.
um, but and by the way, folks, people have probably heard you your whole life say foobar. Oh, and the situation went foobar, 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 foobar. And just so you know, foobar means effed up beyond all recognition.
Yeah. I heard that from my brothers when they came back from Vietnam.
Yep, that's a military term, foobar.
Fubar.
That's foobar.
Yeah. I felt bad though when my brother came back. I said, well, did you win? He wasn't happy.
Right?
Yeah. He said they took second.
That's horrible, Brian.
I didn't say that. I thought it though. I remember as a kid, I would think things and not say them because I knew that would have pissed him off, but I knew it was a good joke.
Yeah, well, I'm sure.
Well,
Yeah, how so you missed him while they were gone? You were
how bad. It was terrible. My first brother, Bruce, he went in 1965. So I was pretty young, didn't really get what was going on. But I was really attached to my brother Bill. In 67, he goes, and I'm like heartbroken.
Yeah.
And it was painful. And then my mom said, you can't be like that. You're the man of the family now, which was funny. I was 8.
Yeah,
But I changed my whole
that.
attitude after that. I had things to do.
Yeah, I
Protect
totally
the
get that.
house.
Yeah, no, I get it. You were the man of the house. Yeah, that's how I felt for the last
Yeah.
my whole life. I'm the man of the house. So you know what I mean? Even though
Yeah.
I was a 3-year-old kid when my dad left, whatever it's called, all of a sudden it's like, "Oop, okay, you're the man of the house now." So that means anytime that there was a creaky noise or somebody knocks on the door that nobody knew or yada yada yada, or if the phone rang, if there's any type of situation going on, anything, that 3-year-old, 5-year-old, 7-year-old, 12-year-old, whatever it was, however old I was at the time, I had to step up to the plate and go outside and check to make sure that everybody else was safe. Isn't that horrible? I mean, really,
Yeah. It's kind of cool in a way, though.
yeah. But
I
it
like
was
it.
whenever there was something, whenever there was a situation, I had to feel like I had to get up and go and take
Yeah.
care of it. So, and I guess that's one of the reasons why I grew up, and you grew up being Mr. Fix It, and I mean not Mr. Fix It like we can fix everything, but if you come to us with a problem, we're the first ones
Yeah.
to go say, hey, well, let's go let's get it fixed.
Yeah.
I'll help you do it, whatever.
And that annoys some people.
Yeah, I know it. Well, it does because
Can.
some people in particular, I mean, not some actually. It's fine to know that you can do that, but I think in particular, a lot of times with the opposite sex, the word if they have a problem, they just want to exhaust their words to you, and they want to learn it and figure it out on their own. They don't want your help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Oh,
so many
yeah.
times they'll be like, they say, "There's an issue. Oh, here's a problem." You automatically retort. I mean, we're always in this defensive mode where we're like, we're gonna fix it. If you tell me a problem, the reason why you tell me a problem is that I'm going to fix it for you. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That's
I remember. Yeah, I remember that. My dad used to not lock the front door, so I would put something against it. So if somebody did come in, it would make a clanging sound. I did that on all the doors. He'd get mad at me for that.
oh yeah.
He had everything unlocked. I just said that's not good. But he was proud of my brothers for going, but he was scared. I could tell. And then when I was like 15, 14, he said, "You're not going to war. You're not going in the military. It's not your thing." He knew I wasn't made for that. He was like, he was kind of against war by then after Vietnam.
Yeah. Well,
He
he was
was
there
worried if you go in the service, you'll get sucked into a bad war after Vietnam. So changed his attitude.
oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. I mean, my dad was all for going back into the military after his time was up, but my mom said because it just started he just came back from Vietnam and it was not going to look good, and he had to re-sign up with the Marines, and my mom said, "You do that, and we're done." I will divorce you right now because you may not come back or whatever, you know.
Yeah. My dad was in over 20 years and he retired and all that. So that was cool.
Yeah, that's
I
great.
think I was really young before the Vietnam thing. I did ask my dad. He said he was in World War II. And I said, "Did you win?" And he laughed because I wasn't being a smart aleck. "Did you win?" He goes, "Oh, yeah." And then he would tell me how they won and then about General MacArthur. Then we'd listen to General MacArthur albums. So that's,
Right. I remember something about that. That his album and stuff.
he had his albums. He had them like up on the thing so you could see him. If you came in, you saw that he had General MacArthur albums. It was hilarious.
Well, I had a General MacArthur pipe at one time, so that was
Yeah,
cool.
that's awesome.
Yeah, my grandfather had one. He was supposed to be on a ship apparently at one time. And when
Yeah.
he came on there was like a shipment of like 200 of his pipes or something like that. And they just didn't get all used. So that they, I don't know how they did that, but they split them up with the guys and he got one of them. But then I have no idea where that went. It was
Yeah.
in a list of the pipes, but yeah.
Every time my dad left the house, he would say, "I shall return." I didn't know what that meant till I was about 10. Even though he listened to the MacArthur albums, I didn't pick it up because he would play these long speeches by MacArthur.
Yeah. See, I like speeches.
And
I'm
then
a
I
speech
saw
fan.
something on TV, "We Shall Return." I went, "Oh, there you go."
I remember the old cartoon, his little boy who gets kicked out of he's a daydreamer and he gets kicked out of his class and he's daydreaming all the time. You know, little Billy, but he all of a sudden at the last part he turns into MacArthur and he says, "Ma'am, I shall return," or whatever, you know. That's one of my favorite cartoons actually, because in that cartoon, I think it's Warner Brothers, pretty
Yeah, I
sure.
think Bugs Bunny was involved. Could have sworn
Um,
I sworn he was talking to MacArthur, but I don't know. He
no,
was
no, no,
popular.
no. I think there was another one too. There was another one. But this one I'm talking about, the little boy. He became a pirate with a
Oh, okay.
with a blade in his mouth, and he swam all the way around. He was just a daydreamer. I can't remember his
Oh,
name, but
okay.
it was just really cool. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it was.
think Bugs had MacArthur at one point.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, but I think that I love those old cartoons actually. I wonder if we can get the rights to um, play them on here sometime because they're over 40 years old, right?
Well, Warner Brothers is pretty strict. If you even say "on with the show, this is it," you might get your show shut down.
On with the show. This is it. There
You
you go. On with the show. This is it.
might get
But
a strike for saying that.
well, I'm
And
surprised we didn't get a strike yet because I fumble my words, quite a bit, like Porky Pig. So
I put a little bit of a clip of Bugs Bunny in a video and put it on YouTube and didn't get any real hard strikes, just a mild one because it wasn't monetized. The minute you monetize, they'll get tough. But yeah, we could have a clip probably. Not
yeah,
too long though.
I don't know. Yeah, we gotta figure that one out. God, that's what I was hoping for. I was hoping for a little more information in regards to that when I did that class last week. It was like,
Yeah, you might have to take a class just for that copyrights, but there's a lot of good videos on YouTube about the copyright things.
yes, I think so. But I need to learn more. We need to learn more about it, actually.
Yeah, but I think if you do something every day on it, you will learn.
Yeah.
It'll come around.
Okay. So I had a question for you. I can't remember what it was, but I'll have another one for you, which is basically, Brian, if you had to pick any character in a book or a movie or a TV show who is most similar to you, who would you choose and why?
Hmm.
Once again, people, if you're watching this, I have a tendency to ask questions about questions because it's a way for us to get to know each other a little more and actually
Yeah.
for us to speak in public. That's the purpose of the show, actually, is just kind of get us back into the grind of society. So,
Well,
um,
yeah, and to reveal the era you're from. So I'm going to say John Boy Walton. Believe it or not, he was the sensitive writer in a big family.
John Boy, yeah. Well, I could tell by that mole you have right there.
Yeah. He was I liked him because he also went to war, but he could get things done around the household and all that, the farm or whatever the hell they had, the sawmill. And he also was constantly writing and he listened to people talk and he was an aspiring writer. And he ended up writing and going to war. So I think he might have been a war correspondent.
Right. Well,
Yeah, I thought the mole was weird. I thought he was a little weird looking, but the way he acted, I could relate to. But
he
the
was a
little
good guy.
guy
He was definitely a good guy. Yeah.
he was famous for a while.
Yeah.
He left the
Well,
show early though. He was well, I mean, not real early, but he was 5 or 6 years. But when he left, it was a bummer.
I think I don't know if this is right. I've got a couple people in my head mixed up for myself, but I would say Jack Tripper,
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I like him.
a mix between Jack Tripper and George Costanza.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good combo.
It's like, I know
Those are
it's
two
right.
of the greatest characters in sitcom history.
Well, I was thinking as far as personalities go, I don't think that I get upset like George does, but I find myself in situations like George does. And I also find in a lot of situations like Jack Tripper does, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you know,
He could
it's
knock
weird.
things over, man. He was
Yeah,
awesome. He was a great physical comedian.
he was a great comedian like that. I need to watch some more. I haven't watched the show in so many years. I should look it up again and watch some more of it. It's kind of because he's such a physical comedian. He just
Yeah.
tripping over the steps every moment and
Well, and overreactions, facial.
overreaction. Yeah, but
He would
the
spin around and stuff. He did things no human would normally do.
right,
He was like a
yeah.
cartoon character in some ways.
But he'd find himself in situations that were just like, wow, how'd I get here? And then it's like, oh my gosh. And then they'd get things would go, people would misunderstand what he said or whatever, they did.
Yeah.
And that
He could
happens
have been
all the
a
time.
he could have been a vaudeville superstar if he was born in the 30s.
Yeah, now he had some kids, I think, didn't he, Jack Tripper? I mean,
Or John Ritter. I
John
don't know.
Ritter.
His dad was Tex Ritter, the singer, country singer Tex Ritter.
Yeah, I think John Ritter may have had a child who got into it as well. I think that
Maybe.
he had a son. I think, yeah, because I just think in general that there's an actor out there that has his looks. So I'm thinking that may actually be him.
Yeah.
I'm not for certain, but
Tom Hanks has a kid that's an actor, I think. Or I know he does.
Tom Hanks does.
Yeah, Colin Hanks. He was in a pretty funny buddy TV show, buddy cop TV show with Bradley Whitford, the guy from West Wing, and he was also in Happy Matt or what's not Happy Madison, Billy Madison. He was the jerk that was trying to take over the company in Billy Madison. You know him.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah,
reddish hair guy. He's kind of always plays a douchebag.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, apparently, according to this here, we've got two sons. We've got a Jason
Two
Ritter,
sons.
two sons, and a daughter. Jason Ritter and let's see here. See, yeah, they look right here. That looks like John right there.
Oh
And,
wow, yeah, I've
yeah.
seen that guy in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and then that's a Jason Ritter, and then the other one is Tyler Ritter, which I've not seen.
Tyler Ritter.
But he's got a big smile like John right there, so that's good.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, that's pretty. Wow, that one right there. Jeez, that's kind of freaky.
Right there, wow, that's amazing. He looks exactly like him. That's
doing everything. Yeah, even his nose is looking like it.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic because I'm glad that
Wow, there's a picture.
I'm very glad that his legacy is going on. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
that's great. I don't know about Noah Ritter is a girl.
No, yeah, I don't know much about her.
It looks
I'm going to abstain from commenting.
right. Well,
from commenting on that.
Well, oh,
she could play the maybe the emotional girl in a teen show or something. Or
well, is Noah a girl or a boy?
Oh,
no, Stella Ritter. That's who it is.
Stella, yeah, she could do it. She's got character.
Yeah, I bet they have a.
It'd be weird to be a woman.
I think I'm more impressed with Tyler Ritter here as it looks. Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad I think they're
Jason Tyler. I think Jason's the one I know more about.
Yeah. There's a Carly Ritter too, which is
wow.
So it's, yeah, he was very he made a lot of kids. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm
4 kids.
glad because he's a good he was a great person, it seemed like to me.
I liked him. He's one of my favorites.
Well, God bless John Ritter. There you go, Jack Tripper.
And check him out in Sling Blade, a different role for John Ritter.
Yeah, no, for sure. When John Ritter played the homosexual man, he did a great job. It was very second nature to him as well. You know what I mean? It was like
Oh
he
yeah.
fit that role, you know, because he was such a kind-hearted man. It wasn't like he was outside the box trying to. I mean, it seemed to fit him pretty well. So that's good. Which is, I don't know, it's kind of odd to say, but I mean, well, he had to play actually in his old show. He had to play gay for a long time. You know,
Yeah.
he played gay often because otherwise, how could he live with two beautiful women? You know, they weren't gonna let him do that. They wouldn't allow it to have swingers in that building.
Yeah, it was swingers. It was a Furley had a rule.
Well, Fairley had a role, but the Ropers, they were swingers themselves a little bit.
Oh, I mean the Ropers. Yeah, sorry, the Ropers started it all. Then Furley came in. I
Yeah,
think,
but remember the Ropers had the silk, like the silk kimonos or something like that. They'd wear like some really odd.
they were a little messed up, but I liked them. But that guy was.
They were. I think I want to find them real quick.
Well, I wanted to show you something first because I was
Yeah,
talking
go for it.
about how Colin Hanks and what's the other guy, Bradley Whitford, and the show never made it because I don't know why. It was on Fox and just never really connected. But it was like one of my favorite shows. Let me show you here. The Good Guys. See that? The Good Guys right here. That's
Mhm.
Colin Hanks. He looks a
Oh
lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was his dad for sure.
Bradley
Wow.
Whitford. It's a little slow today, but
Oh, that's okay. I'm slow
there you
today.
go. Remember that guy, Bradley Whitford?
Yeah, no, hang on.
Yeah, he was in Billy Madison. He was the bad guy. He was married to the gal from Malcolm in the Middle. He was in West Wing.
I feel like I recognize that guy.
He
But
was in that movie we saw with Demi Moore where they were selling vaccines illegally.
vaccines illegally.
Yeah, remember just recently we saw it. And it was a pandemic and people were locked up in LA. And
I think I know him.
yeah, this guy, he
Yeah,
got it. Bradley Whitford, he's big time.
yeah, he's a good actor. Yeah, I
Yeah,
recognize
those
him.
two. It was a great show, but it didn't last maybe 1 or 2 seasons tops. It was sad. Yeah, it was a great show, The Good Guys. So watch that sometime. I loved it. It was hilarious.
Well, that's okay because that's where Tom Hanks made his debut as well. Was in, you know, basically bosom buddies.
Yeah. That was
Bosom,
another one where they're trying to fool the landlord.
right?
Fooling the landlord's a common theme in sitcoms.
It is, and I think that's it's kind of funny. You just go with fooling the landlords, and you can go on from there. You know.
Oh, yeah. Well, most people at some point in their lives have tried to fool a landlord on something. I got a waterbed in the second floor. That's fooling the landlord. It's illegal.
Yeah.
That could be disastrous.
I just found the Ropers.
There you are.
It's not the best picture, but it's a picture of the Ropers there.
See, I always
Yeah.
thought he died or something during the show, but he got a show for a while, The Ropers.
He did? Oh, they did.
Maybe
Awesome.
is that why they brought in Furley? They did a spin-off for the Ropers and they brought in Don Knotts, which is a great move.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Yeah, apparently
Yeah.
Don Knotts was a dog man. He was going after every woman he could every time. He was like
Really?
a little bit of a perv, but you know, back in the day when being a perv was cool.
Well, he had to knot it up, you know.
Yeah, he was from what Norm Macdonald talked about him a lot. He knew a lot about Don Knotts.
Well, that's just crazy because he looks like our friend Jeff actually a little bit, but hey,
Yeah.
you know, whatever works. To each their own.
He had a hell of a career. Shakiest gun in the West. That's free now.
Yeah. He
Shake-
definitely was a funny guy, you know. Well, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And he
can't get
did
him.
the Apple Dumpling Gang with Tim Conway, and then that was awesome.
Yeah, but
Do
even
you have
then,
questions you were talking about?
well, there was one somewhere on the line there. I'm not sure what happened to it, but yeah, no. As far as questions go, I have dun, 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 boom. But I think my did I got lost myself in my computer there actually. But give me just a moment. I will find my little list of questions here. My little list of questions. I must have. Oh, here we go. Yes. Anyway, so is there? What is your biggest fear, Brian? I think we've talked about this before, but
Yeah, I think so. Just something happened to somebody I care
you
about.
care about, yeah, yeah.
Not
Well,
really
so
too afraid for myself.
I
I'm
will skip that a little
careful.
bit.
Ladders scare me at this age.
Yeah, no shit. Um, is there a charitable cause that you support?
Well, I do like the Salvation Army and I like LifeWorks. I think LifeWorks is a nonprofit. They do great things.
Just if you don't like life not working, do you?
No, but LifeWorks, I like the other name they had better, Residential Resources, but LifeWorks fits what they're doing better. So, but yeah, they've always made sure a good home life for people with disabilities.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I think.
Yeah, and parents get the reassurance that their son or daughter is going to be taken care of in the future after they're gone. That's a great thing to provide.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I know there's a lot of, not too many of them. There's only a few of them out there, but from what I've heard, um, from that company, it was done really well done from the get go, and
Yeah.
had a pretty good manager on there for quite a long time, and
Yeah.
not everybody got along with her, but she did a great job with the business, with the business,
Well,
the
if
company.
everybody gets along with you, you're probably not a good leader.
All right.
She was Marty Johnson. I worked with her from almost the beginning, 84. She started in 80. So I came there and it was a small organization and she grew it and we had good people, good staff, good clients.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
Well,
cool to see a success story. And the Salvation Army just does a good job and doesn't use a lot of the money for themselves. So I like that.
I'm actually, as much as being a board member of the Salvation Army here for 13 years, actually, um, I can tell you, even though I can't do as much as I once did, I still do what I can. And
Yeah.
I know that right now I'm unhappy with the local Salvation Army for just reasons because I'm dealing with stuff. But we have some stuff coming down the pipeline that are going to be pretty cool. It's going to be a game changer for the area. So
Good.
yeah, it's going to be huge. Totally excited on that one. So hold on to your horses. But yeah, as far as working there at Residential Resources, did you ever get any? What did you learn from working there? I mean, you already went to school for some stuff, but what did you, for working that company in particular, what did you learn while you were working there?
Well, I think I learned that it may seem like there's way too many rules and regulations, but in reality, you're taking care of people who are sometimes medically fragile, and you have to have great records, and you have to write down everything you do so they
Uh,
know everything got done. So I used to kind of rail against all the paperwork and stuff, but I realized it's you got to have it. You got to know
Necessary evil. Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Trust me. Same way for the most part. I'd rather just not do paperwork. But
Well, and I also learned that every person, no matter how limited they are, they're human, man. They got needs and wants, and they're interesting people if you get to know them. Some of them couldn't even talk. I worked with a guy couldn't talk, could barely do anything, but
and they're valuable. I
I
mean,
got him laughing so much.
they're very valuable. Even myself right now with my physical limitations and stuff, I mean, I can still pull off some pretty good stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's funny
Which
because
is
I had
pretty
one
good.
guy, Jonathan, and he was very disabled. He couldn't talk at all. And somebody said, "Oh, he really needs you." And I thought, no, he needs somebody. Anybody could do what I'm doing pretty much, but I need him because he would laugh so much they'd have to strap him in his wheelchair.
Really?
Yeah, and he would be happy about it. He'd have to be strapped up chest because his whole body would convulse just off.
Jonathan was the piano player, right?
No, different Jonathan. This was
Oh, okay.
years ago. This guy couldn't talk. Uh, he just sat there. He couldn't use his arms or his legs. He was in a wheelchair, but he liked comedy. He liked slapstick. So I do slapstick, and he would love it. But we had to make sure he was strapped in so he didn't get hurt.
Oh.
And so that was
How old was he?
amazing. He was probably in his 20s when I started working with him. I had to give him
Yeah.
showers. I had to make sure he got his medication. It was like dress the guy. I had to do everything. It taught me a lot of patience and humility.
Yeah. It does that. It
Yeah.
does that. Being a person who has been on the receiving end of that, where I was, I was bedridden for like 2 months basically, and ended up being in a wheelchair for 6 months and stuff, and having people actually for the first month basically showering me, putting me in a chair and taking me into the, and doing all that stuff. It was that's just too much, It's just like,
Yeah.
wow, I can't fathom living like this, but I couldn't fathom thinking about anything for the longest time. But that made me just think of a friend who, anyways, but
Yeah, it was mind blowing though. And I remember everybody liked me. I go anywhere I went, to a bar, anything. What do you do? Work for helping disabled people. Buy you drinks, pat you on the back, think you're great. It was pretty cool.
yeah,
Kind of an
yeah.
ego thing. They're like, wow, man, I couldn't do that. Everybody said that. I couldn't do that. That was a pretty cool thing.
Well, it's how you promote yourself no matter what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, I'd take them in town and stuff. And I took one guy, his name was Shad, and he had these wild behaviors and stuff. And I took him to see a magician, and he ran up on stage and had a shoestring, and he got it wet and started slapping right in front of the guy. That was one of his things he did. He was deeply autistic, and it was hilarious. And the magician just played along, started pointing at him, and then I went up and got him, and got him off the stage. He made it look like a part of the show. He's like, thank you. Yeah,
That's awesome.
I was freaking out. I was, this is a bad incident.
But that boy had a person had has 2 seconds on the limelight, so that's cool.
He didn't even know there was a magician.
Ah, really?
He was physically imposing though. Yeah, he could beat up people if you didn't keep him calm. Yeah, we went into a video store. He grabbed a big stand-up of Prince for the movie Purple Rain and jammed it through the ceiling and lifted tiles and stuff. And I had to try to get him to calm down. It was wild going in the public.
Yeah, crazy. No, I'd say she's like crazy, but
well, he was strong too. He got angry one time and ripped the metal off an Everready battery, a D battery. Cut his hand pretty bad, but ripped it off. And we all tried to do it. Nobody could. Nobody could rip that thing off there.
Huh.
Try that sometime. You'll end up in the hospital.
I've done before. I don't remember doing my bare fingers, but
you get cut. You get cut because it's a metal.
Yeah, I've done it before, but okay. So here's another question for you. As far as that goes, what job did you want to do when you were a kid?
I didn't really want to work when I was a kid too much. I like digging and doing some getting the pipes ready for the plumbing we're going to do. I did like some construction, I guess. I don't know. I don't think I want to be an astronaut.
Yeah, the thought of an astronaut, actually, I'll tell you what, not much scares me really anymore, but the thought of being an astronaut pretty much does. I mean, I'm like, nah, just ship me out on a boat and I will never be seen again, because that's how I feel what would happen if I was an astronaut right now.
Yeah, kind of wanted to be a reporter. Like in the old days, they showed news reporters being real brave and exciting,
Yeah, they were at one time,
Yeah, they went after the truth, even if they didn't like it.
Yeah, no, I like that. Yeah, I think when I was a kid, I wanted to be a fireman pretty much. I knew I did. That was my thing. I want to be a fireman. And I don't know, I had my grandfather was a fireman, my dad was a fireman and a policeman. So it was like, I felt like it was in my blood at one time I was going to do that. I was pretty certain because my grandpa ran the fire station across the street. So it was like, oh,
Yeah. Well, that's a good goal.
yeah.
I
And
wanted to be a detective too. They had these kid detectives a lot of times. You'd read books about these young detectives and
yeah,
Hardy Boys and all that.
Hardy Boys were big. And then
Yeah. Encyclopedia Brown was later.
Nancy Drew.
Yeah, Nancy Drew was a good one.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I like Nancy Drew. That was it. They're all good. Scooby Doo. Then it was like,
Yeah, they're always solving crimes.
yeah, they always figured out who was under the mask. It was always a mask. It seemed like it. Until you watch the first Scooby Doo movie, and it was actually like they're like real, like demons and stuff. That was crazy. That was I can't remember. It surprised the heck out of me. I thought for certain that the first Scooby Doo movie would be like, oh, they pull off the mask. No, it's like they've been turned into actual monsters. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah. I like the Scooby Doo movie. I like that guy that played Shaggy.
Shaggy, yeah, whatever.
Matthew Lillard. He's weird as hell, but he's good.
Scoob, yeah. I don't know where he went or what he's doing nowadays, but
I saw him in something recently. He's still the same pretty much, but he's toned it down a bit.
yeah, he was pretty funny guy actually.
Yeah. He's one of my favorite like character actors.
hmm So Brian, if you had to, was they had to or wanted to do skydiving or bungee jumping or scuba diving, which would you do?
Oh, scuba diving. I've already done it. I like it. I like scuba diving. I don't love it, but I like it.
Yeah.
Did it?
Where did you do that at?
I did it in the Columbia. I did it in a lake in Oregon. I did it in Coal Creek, believe it or not. I did it in the Toutle. And I think we did the Cowlitz. My brother and I did that. He was really into scuba diving. So
No, that's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I could do the scuba diving, I do believe,
Yeah. It's not
but
my
the
favorite.
bungee jumping and the skydiving, nah,
Yeah.
that's okay.
I'm not interested. I kind of thought about it when I was younger, but
Yeah, I'm playing on the ground for a reason,
yeah. It's kind of fun though to go underwater and be able to breathe. That's a pretty amazing thing.
Well, here's a unique question for you. Which of your family members were more like you?
Probably my younger sister, Carolyn, Kari. Very similar.
Very similar.
Like theatrics and drama and questioning things.
Thought outside the box.
Yeah. She
That's
just
cool.
didn't present it as well, so she became an outcast at times. She was younger than me. I learned from her. I'm like, okay, I'm going to tone it down here. I want to be accepted. She didn't care about being accepted. So.
Yeah.
I always said it was like a female Jim Morrison. So I learned from her that I'm not going to do that, but I can tone it down and get by. So it's not easy to be Jim Morrison. Nobody else can do it.
Yeah. Well, it's true. Now I have questions. These are kid questions here. This is also from Conversation Starters for Kids. I'm going to throw it out there with you. We'll go through them if we can pull them off. Do you think there are aliens on other planets?
I think probably. I don't have any evidence that says there is, but I think probably.
I go for the yes because that's my, I just
go back to my sister for a minute though, because people like think, sometimes I say stuff that's inappropriate, but she would go in, say we had a local politician. There isn't one, but if there was one local politician, there was rumors that guy slept with his maid or something, like an Arnold Schwarzenegger thing.
Right.
I would go in there and think that I wanted to say something and not say it. She'd walk in and go, hey, are you hey, Arnold, are you the guy that's boinking your maid in front of everybody on a microphone? She would do that.
Just
I didn't have the guts to do that. Yeah.
Well, I think you kind of, you're a little shock value.
I wouldn't do that though. I wouldn't go in and say, so are there any truth to I'm talking on a microphone, hosting as emceeing an event, honoring the guy. she would have said that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't say, "Hey, you still boinking the maid?" I would not do that.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah.
But it'd have been funny.
Oh,
Yeah,
folks, I'm
she would have
yawning here,
she would
folks.
have she would have done that, and I could have handled somebody doing that to me. So it taught me I could handle anything because of her.
Uh-huh.
Because most
Well, that's
people, if
good.
if they get embarrassed in public like that,
Uh-huh.
they get upset.
Yeah.
Freaks them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that it's great to be able to do that, but it's like facing your fears. I appreciate her doing that, but doing it just to slaughter somebody is their story. It's kind of like, well,
Yeah. No, like I said, I'd never do it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
she would, so we wouldn't have her go to events honoring people.
Okay, so here's another question for you from a kid's point of view. Who would win in a fight, a robot or a dinosaur?
Robot easily. We could program the robot to find all the weaknesses in the dinosaur.
I know. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, yeah,
Too easy.
it's a great question for kids, I guess. But I'm thinking to myself, wow, yeah, kids.
Well, you get some kids say dinosaurs are extinct. So
a robot.
moot point.
Just kidding. But so this is we'll get past the kids ones here. So this is what was your worst fashion disaster?
I grew up in the 70s, so I had about 7 years of it. But
Bell bottoms.
well, I think the bell bot. Well, no, I liked them. The leisure suit. We're back to that leisure suit. I didn't get in on it.
Oh yeah. You didn't get it. Well, that's not yours then.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I got some patent leather red, white, and blue shoes in 8th grade, and thought they would go over, and they were roundly booed. And
Yeah. You know what though? I appreciate you. No, I really appreciate you trying.
I wore them in wrestling practice, and a guy tried to beat me up just because of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to wear wrestling shoes everywhere. It was like
Yeah, these were patent leather. They had a heel. They were rubber sole with a heel that big. And I thought these are going to take the school by storm. And it was constant criticism. Wore them for 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah. Then people are like, what happened to your shoes, Brian?
Yeah.
Going,
it was about a week of humiliation.
Yeah, no, we've all done that. I really do believe that. It's hilarious. And I'm not sure what I did. Oh, I used to wear I don't know what it was. My fashion embarrassing moment was I used to wear the gym muscle man sweats. And they're like fish tanks, like multiple red, green, pink, yellow, striped.
Are they the one with the big baggy?
Yeah, big baggy sweats.
That was a fashion disaster.
That was a fashion disaster. And yeah, that was mine. I used to wear those things, and I used to wear them. After a while, I kept my sweats because they're so comfortable. They're so comfortable. I'd wear them to camping only. And then even my friends thought that was ridiculous. So
yeah,
when we were camping one time, they burnt 2 pairs of my pants.
I had a pair of black and green ones in the early 90s, and I wore them to the gym, and I wasn't embarrassed because everybody had them. Everybody.
Yeah, the gym was great. They were so. I wonder if I can find some, by the way. Let's see here. I think if we have time for it. Let me see if I can find some here, because I know that
well, I shot some video for this guy. He did a show called Health and Fitness, where he's working out at Physical Impact, and everybody in the show had those pants. Everybody.
Right. Yeah. They have. Oh, here we go. Right there.
Yeah, those are the biggest disaster I've ever seen, but they're kind of fun and comfortable.
They're very comfortable, extremely comfortable, and I don't know what the hell I was thinking wearing these things, but
people are wearing tight pants now.
These ones were not. These ones here aren't as soft as the other ones look.
Yeah. So you got a picture to bring up?
I do. Like that's right there. Those aren't bad. Those are
Sinbad. Yeah.
Yeah, Sinbad. That's the way Sinbad. I think he had his own pants, muscle pants. Yeah, those are
baggy Hammer muscle pants. Yeah, I remember MC Hammer. That's funny. This item is sold. It's gone.
Yeah, I don't know who the hell's buying them unless they're making an '80s movie. But
there's still guys like this hanging around.
Yeah, it's pretty
Almost
funny.
looks like he has a bowling bag.
Yeah, right, it does.
That is
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, but yeah, those pants were the most comfortable. Oh my goodness, you
Yeah,
could do anything you want with them. Yeah.
they were hilarious. And it was the cutoff sweatshirt. I mean, come on, they went for it.
Well, yeah, Gold's Gym. It was like,
Those Jim, yeah, those were funny.
man, I wore those for, you know, I wasn't getting laid in my life after that. I wore those, like, nah, you can't. Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
remember
it.
that era. That was hilarious. But
It was late '80s, and the late '80s were, well, '80s in general were all neons, So it was
we're all what?
were neon. '80s were
Neon
neon.
80s. Yeah, there's a lot of spandex, and then a lot of heavy metal stuff was going with the people with their leather.
Yeah,
You
there was a
know?
lot of different stuff changing around
Yeah,
in
the
the
'80s
'80s.
were interesting. You had new wave with the like a black and white striped shirt, spiked hair. Men would wear the eyeliner. It was a wild time.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
I think the metrosexual was born in the '80s, maybe.
Well, I don't know.
We didn't have them in the '70s. There was nothing like that. There was no metrosexual. Maybe Tony from Saturday Night Fever, but he was pretty masculine. So I think the '80s brought us the metrosexual because of new wave music, Kajagoogoo and all that.
Yeah, well, '80s fashions like right here. These are all look at all the colors they have on those things. It's
Yeah.
like just and they had yeah. These are it's so funny. Look at these things. It's like I can't believe it. Right there, look at that. See, that's like a regular guy just hanging out, and they're
Yeah.
wearing his freaking pants, man. Those are so god awful, horribly.
Yeah, there
It's
was I
fucking
had some weird stuff, and I got into some
hilarious.
weird jackets in the late '80s.
And then yeah, these ones here, the Neon Crew.
Yeah, I
I
remember
mean,
that.
that
It's
was
hilarious.
yeah. I remember we had an '80s event here, had a couple of them, and I love getting people dressed up, but the '80s does, and the music is phenomenal, but the outfits they wore, oh my gosh!
Yeah.
And then you have these ones here, of course, which are the leg warmers.
Yeah. Well,
And those
Madonna
are
had the fashion thing going in the '80s. She kind of took over that for a while. Mid '80s,
Madonna, yeah.
oh, it was her decade.
Oh yeah, 100%.
She was the
She was
queen of the '80s, man. No doubt.
she was most definitely. I'm gonna stop sharing this because
She also wrote a beautiful song called Live to Tell. I saw a show about it yesterday and how emotional it was, and it may have been about childhood abuse and stuff. She was not just a pop tart. She could do great songs.
Yeah, no, she was
A lot
amazing.
of pain as a child. Her mom died and stuff. Yeah, it was amazing. I was watching this video thinking this is incredible. I'm getting emotional watching this guy talk about it and how Madonna dealt with it. Then he'd play clips from it because I had no idea. Live to tell the story. I didn't know it was about that.
No, Madonna definitely. She took over the '80s. She was. I mean, she is the Bitcoin of today. What
Wow,
she did to the
if
'80s.
she heard you say that, she'd put a hit out for you.
Hey, I'm telling you, it's worth $60,000 each.
Yeah, but it's seen as a bizarre, weird thing. A fad.
Well, but then again, yeah, but everybody thought the same thing as her.
I think
when
we knew she was going to last. I thought she'd last. First time I saw her, I knew she'd be around for a while. Yeah, that was cool. That was the early Madonna where she came on with a Borderline and all that.
right there,
there
that
you go.
was so cute. Right
Like
there.
a Virgin and stuff there.
Yeah, she was definitely and so weird because the words you think, I mean, I was thinking to myself when she was singing Like a Virgin, I think the first time I heard that, I thought, oh, she's a virgin. I'm like, whatever. So odd. And then or Desperately Seeking Susan right there.
Yeah.
That picture right there is phenomenal. I like that. I love that picture.
She knew Like a Virgin was going to be controversial. That was some of her early controversy. She knew that's how to make money.
Most definitely. No, she did. I mean, if that was I don't know if that was her really in particular, or if it was somebody who.
That was her and only her.
Well,
nobody pushed
smart
Madonna
woman, and as far as it goes, all the people that are out there, I'd probably like to have coffee with sometime or whatever. It'd be or beer or whatever. Madonna, that'd be it'd be so great to meet her and pick her brain, just to, I mean, she really was just a human being. You see,
Oh yeah.
I mean, she just does what she wants, it seems like, for the most
Yeah,
part.
she crafted her own image. She thought about it. She had people trying to tell her what to do, but she had a vision.
Yeah.
She got into more serious songs later a little bit. So
Hey, brother, it is 8:04. It means
There
we
you
started
go.
at 7:04. It's 8:04 now, so we gotta pound this out with a pound hour. I think I've won the last 2 days, so we're gonna get a Rochambeau on our way out here.
all
Ready?
right, so we're agreed. We're going live tomorrow on
Going live
Facebook.
tomorrow. There we go.
Get a
Yeah.
hold of me after this, folks.
Okay.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, we got a tie. Boom, boom, boom. Up, we're stuck. Do. There you go. I gave you that one.
Gotcha.
I gave you that one.
I think that's 3 or 4 in a row I got now. 3, I think.
All
But
right, well, get a hold of me. I'm gonna see
okay,
you
do
guys
it. I'll talk to you
tomorrow.
later. Peace out, Boy Scout. Scouts honor.
Peace out.